Hello, this is Esword, Knight of Warrior on the Hammer US PvP server, coming to you today with a 10-man TOC, Beast of Northrend. TOC 10-man slash 25-man is located in Ice Crown in the Argent tournament. Uh, and this is personally my favorite instance, and this is personally my favorite encounter. Um, they will be faced up with three phases. There will be Gormok, Acid Mod, Dreadscale, and Ice Howl. First one you'll be faced up is Gormok. So, the first thing you need to do is have your tank pick him up, and almost right off the bat, he's going to do something called Impale, which does a stacking debuff, which is a pretty nasty dot. Now, I've also learned that you can disarm him, which doesn't allow him to disarm, which is a cool trick. So I think I've actually seen it before that you can have a disarm rotation if you have couple warriors and rogues and even hunters with Scorpion Sting, and he will never get an impale off. Another thing is that he'll do an AoE melee stomp, which will stun right there. It stuns you and silences you. He also throws snowballs. If you can see right there to the left, there's like a little ad, and he's on the back. So technically, you cannot hit him yourself. You need to have other people go hit him. So right now, I'm taking it. And so I'm doing my for tanking, it's kind of hard for me to learn keybind, because it's just, you don't have any room for error. And so I'm just playing it safe for right now. I've been trying to work on it more on heroics. So you just have to have two tanks, and once the other person gets 2 to 3 stacks, the other tank will taunt him off, and that's pretty much it for the first phase. The snowballs, though, that he'll throw, there's going to be 4. So once you kill 4, then you know that there's no more snowballs. The snowballs actually also throw fire bombs, like patches of fire on the ground, which people need to get out of it. Fire equals bad in all cases of World of Warcraft. Blue fire, pink fire, yellow fire, any kind of fire. So you just pretty much DPS him down. As you can see, I have him right now. And so once I got my 2 stacks, I'm going to let the other tank pick him up. So he has it. And that's pretty much it. Just stay out of the fires, tank rotation, and kill Gormok. Okay, this next one is a little trickier for people who do not know this fight. This is called Acid Mod and Dreadscale. There's going to be 2 worms. There's going to be one that's stationary and one that's mobile. First things first, you have to face the worms away from the group. That's the most critical thing, because they do an AoE spew, which will almost instant wipe the group. So Acid Maw and Dreadscale do something kind of like... Okay, so you see I have Paralytic Toxin. So the other tank has a debuff called Burning Bile. Burning Bile takes off Paralytic Toxin. So Paralytic Toxin does a dot, and it slows you down, which makes it harder for you to reach the person who has Burning Bile. Thing is, though, is that Burning Bile is also an AoE attack that he has. So you only want him to go in for a second, and then get your debuff, and then he has to run back out. So it's always recommended to kill Acid Maw first, because you need Burning Bile to take off Paralytic Toxin. But if you kill Acid Maw, Dreadscale first, and there's Paralytic Toxin running around, there's no way to remove it. So with the kiting one, you need to face him away from the group, and it's kind of like Grobulus, which you need to kite him. He drops little gas clouds, if you can see up there in the corner, and you need somebody to have Burning Bile. So like right now, I'm really slowed down. So the other guy touches me, and I get it's removed. This is probably the most difficult phase of this encounter. So once you take one of the worms down, the other one will enrage. Like, he will do a 50% enrage, which is just not timer based, not DPS race based. It's just once he gets him down, he hits 50% harder. Which I always recommend saving your shield wall or your trinkets or your any kind of your cooldowns for that part if you're tanking it. Heroism is also recommended either to burn Asimov at the very beginning, or to burn down this when the first one goes down, and to just take out the dread scale. Right here he drops a little poison cloud, and you just gotta stay away from it. Also, it's always recommended that if you have burning bile and you are not the tank, please stay away from the group. It's better to lower your DPS a little bit than to take more heals. I believe the rage timer is 10 or 9 minutes of the whole thing. So this is the last one and the most easiest, but also the most easiest to mess up on. This is Ice Howl. Pretty much he's a tank and spank. He does a little sweep, which will knock the tank back and melee back. He also, if you can, up here in a second, he'll pick a target, and he'll actually breath freeze. So there was the sweep, and right there he'll breath freeze it. So it's always good if people spread out, but I've never seen a person at full health one-shotted because of this. So you don't need to like spam heals on them. It's always good to just toss a hot. I've actually know and see it best when he's doing that. He doesn't hit the tank. Okay, so I'll go back to that. So he'll crash back, and you'll be stunned against the wall. You have to run away from him. Whichever he's facing, he will charge. If he doesn't hit anybody, he'll hit the wall and be stunned, and not only be stunned, but take 100% additional damage. This is when you want to pop your mini cooldowns. So, like rapid fire and anything that's not like a 30-minute cooldown. So actually, during the ice breath part, that's actually the best time to get your tank up, because he's not taking any damage. So if you're just maybe you're druid, maybe toss a hot or two on the people who are getting iced, but then do your big heals on the tank if he's low, because he actually doesn't take any damage. So there's another breath phase. You want to stay somewhat spread out, but not super spread out. It's always recommended that the tank stays against the wall, because he doesn't get knocked back during the sweep. So he charges, so he's facing towards me. So I just gotta already know to charge. So I gotta go over there. I started lagging here a little bit, so I actually since we got the key points, I was actually just gonna go to like the last 5 seconds. So we just got him down, and it was an easy fight. Very simple. So we got one more massive crash. So he'll crash you against the wall. You'll be stunned. He'll face the person. And if he hits the person, he'll enrage. But if he doesn't, he'll hit against the wall. The enrage can be tranked. I've seen it tranked, and it saves the day. Okay. Well, thank you guys. Subscribe. And leave your comments below. Thank you. Bye.